All right, y'all, what's up? Welcome. It is time for the 10:30 Wednesday Bookmap stream with the OM community. Thanks for being here. Before we get started, we're going to talk about a couple of things going on in the Bookmap world, which is a lot of fantastic deals and opportunities. First, if you want to get the MBO bundle, which in my opinion is a great resource, it allows you to get access to the stops and icebergs indicators. Of course, my personal favorite among many others. You get 50% off your first month of MBO until the end of this year, so you've got about 20 or so days left to take advantage of that. You also run the competition. Of course, you can take advantage and compete on Bookmap server, where you get access to the free MBO package. So, Cyber Monday right now, 60% off Global Plus on new users. Get 60% off their first month of Global. Awesome stuff. So, yeah, of course, also take a look at the pro webinar events they'll be having today and Thursday that you'll be focusing on all the MBO MBO deals. MBO deals. So, of course, I've got an affiliate link you can utilize to take advantage of those, and it'll be good for your trading. It's good stuff. Let me get the YouTube link for you for those who prefer the YouTube link. It should be active on my YouTube channel, but I'll go ahead and provide the link. There you go. So, this morning we have saw an absolute freight train of buying. The thing launched from 433 to 734. I personally hate these type of days, a 300-point move without a single pullback, because there's no real good entry to get in. There's no real liquidity sweep. There's no real rejection. It's just go, 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 go for 3 hours straight. So it's difficult to get into a move like that. Me personally, I like to play the imbalance moves. It gives me a great point of entry, and it gives good market defense. But this, you don't really know when it's going to stop. So we just rejected 700 gently, bounced back up. Now it looks like they're going to reclaim 780 on that big engulfing green. Liquidity here has been all up stacked around the 700. So once we saw 630 being taken out on NASDAQ, it was pretty obvious they're going to 700 at that point. ES, same thing. Once they took out 6083, my next target was going to be 6092. And then after that, 6100. VIX got rolled from 1440 down, and that is the depositioning for the CPI event we had this morning. Markets comes on and puts on their hedges and protections for the CPI event, as mundane it usually is nowadays. And of course, once the position becomes known, VIX rolls, puts are closed, shorts are closed, market yields higher prices. And that's the rundown, the shakeout for today. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So, little move back up here, 6085, NASDAQ 726. We had a whole bunch of sell-side icebergs hit the tape here at 6080, and we have a whole bunch of puts being purchased on the option chain right now. CVD is up to 21,000 on the S&P. The next call wall for today's session is 6090 on SPX, which is 15 points higher. Yeah, buddy. Good morning, good morning. Links for the events and the products that we talked about this morning, or just when we signed on, is posted in my Options Millionaire channel and Bookmap community. Head over there. We have $1.3 billion notional in puts being purchased this morning. They had up to 1.7 in calls purchased, but they rolled those over to about 700 million. And they are still aggressively piling into puts for the S&P at the moment. Again, not actionable until you see the VPA signals, liquidity signals on the charts. Microsoft 488. RTY is coming off. Once again, the rotation in and out of small caps has been very aggressive this week. And today it's no different. RTY, new low of the day and getting destroyed. And in fact, they just took out their CPI low. I would not be surprised to see the S&P do the same thing by the end of the day. It would not surprise me one bit to see that kind of move. Yeah, I'll take a look at NVIDIA. Yeah. Let me bring it up here. $60.90 there. Tesla's rolling into puts. NVIDIA now is non-performing. They're not in the calls or puts top 10 at all. So whatever they are not that strong. Let me go take a look at their individual name. Yeah, nothing. They're about equivalent on puts and calls being purchased, so not a lot of outlier data for them at all. It's not a lot of participation. In my opinion, the reason why NVIDIA has kind of underperformed and entered into a distribution phase since June is I think Tesla has been the golden child the past couple of weeks. Now even Google and Amazon. There's so much liquidity being pumped into Google, Amazon, and Tesla that I think NVIDIA was used as kind of like the juice to squeeze into those big names. Go look at it. Go look at NVIDIA on the monthly chart. Every single month since June, NVIDIA has sold into a top wick and selling into strength. So NVIDIA is in a distribution pattern now for going on 6 months, selling everything in 6 months in a row. Whereas Apple, Amazon, Tesla are just absolutely exponential. That money's got to come from somewhere, and it's called the disposition effect. The big winner the past 3 years, hands down, has been NVIDIA. Rocket ships. And, yeah, that profit's been taken and moved elsewhere into now Amazon, Tesla, Google. Question is, what are they moving it to? No, we know that answer. Look at Tesla. Tesla has gone from 216 to 416 in a month and a half. Amazon has now gone exponential. They've been buying up for 4 months straight. Apple has gone exponential the last 3 weeks. What's up, Seth? What is my full thought process right here? You're talking about for today's session. It appears we are going to go for the 780. Now, the big thing to look at that everyone's monitoring is the big ascending wedge. If you look on the NASDAQ and the S&P and you plot the highs going back to July and the lows going back to July, there's a very obvious ascending wedge that the market is respecting very clearly. Do I give a lot of weight to wedges and trend lines? Not a lot, because volume and price action is absolutely key. But they do identify a pattern of price action. Right now, both the NASDAQ and the S&P are right up against their upper leg once again. Now, in terms of trend lines, we've already rejected this trend line once a couple of days ago. When we quickly recapture that trend line after a rejection, like we have here, I'm very skeptical to look for the ejection off of it. When you play those type of moves, if they reject and quickly recapture it back up, most of the time that means they're going to absorb and go higher. It's just a play off of when everyone sees the wedge, then it usually breaks. Now, in terms of volume price analysis style stuff, there are no signs here to think about a short on the S&P or NASDAQ. Not to say it won't drop from here. I'm just saying right now the signs aren't there, although they're starting to kind of trickle in. There's no high volume sweep. There's no big top wick rejection. There's no indications that we've hit a large amount of supply. Pretty sideways action right now. Is there a way to better predict sideways days? I noticed when the MACD crosses on the 60-minute and 2-hour pre-market, specifically not SPY, that trades sideways. I purposely don't track the MACD like this. For me, I utilize the morning range to kind of determine if there's going to be a sideways action. Now you can kind of get a feel for the sideways action through the IV coupled with the 0 DTE action, because 0 DTE is a big part of the game nowadays. And then, of course, the actual general market. If you open up the market and half is red, half is green, if we're only up like 0.2%, 0.3%, if the market's doing a lot of wick, then most likely it's just going to be a sideways day. You could tell that pretty close out of the gate. But if everything's open up, ripping in a tearing, bright green, bright red, something like that, if you have a whole bunch of notional coming down the zeros, if you've got a lot of weird algos, then most likely we're going to be in a trend. But there's no way to know one way or the other. It's just you can kind of narrow it down to a degree. There's times to short the highs, there's time to buy the highs, etc. I had MACDs for breakfast for the first time in years. Hash brown was fire. Y'all have the McRib? McRib came back? Yeah, buddy. There is not a more delicious, mediocre piece of meat in the world than the McDonald's McRib. Big Macs, period. Yeah. Cousin's a popular guy. Baba Boopy? No, I'm hungry. Is that even real meat? I doubt it. You're welcome, Get Dough. I'm waiting for the theta discounts later. Yeah, buddy. Right now we have 6090 coming up in the S&P. NASDAQ is probably going to gun for 770, 780 before any kind of EPA supply. Time lapse from the footage of the capturing the unexplained phenomenon. Wow, that is gnarly looking. Y'all got to see this. Hold on, I got to show this to you. It's pretty awesome. Y'all go check out this video. What do I amuse you? You call me a clown? It's a great scene. We are now back and forth around 700. What's up, Trippy Mike? Yeah, definitely. It's gnarly, man. It's like one of the more widespread issues that we've seen. So many conspiracy theories of what the are actually doing. Hard to believe aliens would choose New Jersey. Yeah, they're going to make them pay an alien tax. They probably already have one on the books. Any aliens coming in from the atmosphere must pay a 35% tax to use our New Jersey air. They'd be like, "Oh, sorry, we're out. I thought this was a free world we were invading." Apparently it's not. What about those amazing lights on the bottom of the video? Let me take a look. Yeah, it's nuts. Well, we're stuck here at 21.7 NASDAQ. We've been now here since 9:50 this morning. ES is also flat. Higher lows and lower time frame. Does that mean anything? That doesn't mean anything. Well, it's been, and we're now flagging up here at 700 after a monumental move back up. And just basically what this did is recapture all of the selling from Monday and Tuesday after the CPI up against the upper resistance, up against the other upper trend. As long as you don't have a high volume, we haven't hit supply yet. Exactly. I agree, Chirpy Mike. Yeah. President Biden has been briefed on the New Jersey drones. We are closely tracking the activity. Huh. Photo from Snowshoe Mountain, but really had fun that. Yeah, yeah. I heard that place is pretty good. Snowshoe Mountain. Here comes the red 690. Small amount of red. CPI used to be fun. Now it's a big nothing burger. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Used to be one of my favorite holidays of the year. Just took out that 690 liquidity. Now they're adding a little bit lower at 651. Didn't we just rally like 300 points off CPI? Yeah, but this was not the typical move that we got. Plus, the move came during the day. $683 coming down to $650. $677 coming on down. Finally taking out the 670 pivot. Ever so gently. They're putting on liquidity lower to 650. Nvidia is still feeling some pressure. I have a SPY bear put spread. I like to defend it with futures. Just can't go long up here. Yeah. Here goes GameStop. There you go. Gotta love it. $674 creeping lower here. So just taking its time, but it's doing it. $675 still dropping. No more dilution until February. Liquidity now is pointing down to 670, and they're stacking down to 651. The S&P is putting on another sell side here, but it's just moving so slow. Still trickling lower. Trying to just trickle lower here. Five minutes is so slow. 60. We have two 30-minute top wicks, and we are just building into this resistance. No way. Get ready for a green Thursday. Yeah, it's going to be a rocket ship. Now let's bounce on oil. Oh, man. Oil has been back and forth now, bouncing up back into the 69. Their contract switches in 6 days, but they're at their upper end of their wedge too. So this is prime time breakout area. By the way, liquidity just swept it off Bookmap here. Oil could wipe out 69. If it does, it could be on a move to 73 finally. After being in this wedge for months and months and months, is it time to break out of the consolidation? NASDAQ just wiped liquidity. ES did not. A little bit they did. Not much. But we have PPI tomorrow after today's CPI. Still can't get double unders. I look like I've been whipped 60 times. Yeah, so I had trouble with double unders when I first started, and I finally just clicked and got it. Got to keep your body tight, upright. Got to jump higher than you think. Using just your calves, obviously not too much of your leg, and keep your hands by your side. What's up, Matthew? Got some money back in the market, so I'll be back in the Discord shortly. Look forward to seeing you back. Hope you have a great Christmas. You as well, Matthew. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Back and forth. If equities happen to be chopping, is it a good idea to get familiar with other tickers that may have been expanded price action, trying to get reps in or see element? Yeah, absolutely. What I don't recommend doing is trading something you're not familiar with. So get into, if you're going to do that, then do some charting, spend some time going back, looking at the chart, seeing how it moves, what are the main catalysts of it, and what drives the price action. But then, yeah, absolutely. As long as you are consistent on the learning and you're not, buying something you're not familiar with. I wouldn't recommend going too many though. I wouldn't have, 30 names you're trading at once. Become familiar with 2, 3, maybe 4 if you're good products and trade those consistently. And sometimes there are just going to be days where you're not going to trade well. You're not going to trade anything. You're not even going to take a trade. That's perfectly fine. The object is not to find something so you can trade every day. The object is to find stuff that there's a good opportunity, at least on the daily chart, that you can execute or even look at. Hope y'all survived that bear market we had of 10 o'clock. Well, we've been right here in the same range since 9:50. So the market opened, raged 20 minutes, and then it pinned flat. It's just sideways. It'll tear once I sign off. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is more than chop. I'm not sure what you would call it. Yeah. Absorption, consolidation. Right now, this does not appear to be a topping pattern on NASDAQ, at least not for another 40, 50 points. Never guessed this guy's worth over $5 billion. Yeah. Maybe I can have a paper trading account to try other tickers, get reps in, buy limits and sells at appropriate levels. 100%. 100%. And obviously everything works off of liquidity. Everything is support resistance. Everything is liquidity driven. The order book, that's just the way everything is. But it's just understanding the intricacies of that particular name and understanding the concept that you're not doing it so you can take a trade every day. I think that's huge. You're doing it so you can increase your probability of setups when they do arrive. As long as you can understand that, go nuts. Go nuts. $734, still climbing higher. New Jersey State Senator suggests that the best information we have available to us is that these drones are coming from the Atlantic Ocean. It's Atlantis. There you go. You need a time for yoga. Liquidity back on to 750. When are we going to get out of the chop? Anyone here follow pot stocks? Not to my knowledge, no. What specific indicator do y'all use for volume profile? Just to see volume shells and POCs. I use two different volume profiles. The basic volume profile, which prints based on specific time frames, and one that is the session volume profile for every session. So I plot a POC for every single day, so I know where the day's POC is. That gives me the biggest amount of volume, and through that, I make a determination of how the buyers and or sellers are reacting in a current session. Just like if you see all the POCs shifting higher, 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 higher every day after day, you're knowing that every day the sellers are continuing to sell into higher prices. Whereas if it's the opposite, the buyers are buying into lower prices, and you could foresee a bounce or rejection based on that. Where can I find the weekly expected move? I just look at it. Spot Gamma puts out a report every Sunday that shows a weekly expected moves. Nasdaq just took out a high of the day, and now they're probably going to go for 770, 780. That'll be the sweet move. Man, all of a sudden my timeline is all UFO stuff. Every single post is UFO stuff. Like, what just happened? Get out of here. They're watching the Discord. Yeah. Have they been selling puts into this move? They did sell some of those puts they bought this morning, yes. Algorithm, yeah. Thought we paid that already. Listen to some of these Congress guys, yep. Yep. Coming up on the end of the stream here. Obviously, we've been now range bound since the morning 30 minutes. Back and forth has been the name of the game for the indexes since the first 30 minutes after the initial blast off. With the target overall of about 750 or so, ES of 6090. Six or 8-6. What's going on with this name? Wow. Have y'all seen Walmart stock since August? Whew. Holy guacamole. How many names have gone exponential the past year? Costco hit 1,000. Yeah, they're scooping up market share from everybody. Man, it's nuts. Wonder if these drones start showing up in other states. Well, that would be nuts. What are the targets for Nasdaq above? Right now, it's looking at between 770 and 780, possibly even 800. Liquidity on Bookmap suggests 750 with nothing else above. They are starting to creep in a little here at 770, but the big stuff is 750, and of course below is 720. It's just without any kind of volume, there's no indication that we are in a distribution pattern yet. We're just going higher and higher and higher. We do have the major trend line that's setting at 770. That's the big dog trend line since July. But we're kind of, we're just back and forth here since the opening move. GX 6100. Yep. Do we have any liquidity in RTY? I don't have RTY up. I'd have to look it up. A couple more minutes left in the stream here. Very slow action. My recommendation for you is either remain long biased or do nothing until you have a high volume top wick. You have to know you hit supply. Otherwise, it's just going to keep on going up and up and up, and it's going to cause you a lot of aggravation and frustration. Just got my fill at 49. Last runner still running. Stop at 665. Nice. Here comes 760, looking for 770. Right there. $660, $760. My final target 770, just be done. Mismanage my positions, which means I win or learning, utterly ruining myself chasing. MES still working. Beautiful. 770 is going to be the first area here, and then possibly sweep to 780 or 780, 7770, the 10-point move there. For sure. You can always trade tomorrow. Yeah. $760 coming in, and that is 11:30 Eastern. So unfortunately, we do have to wrap the stream up. Aside from that little move up there, it's been pretty slim pickings since the opening move. So if you have any other questions, shoot me a DM. Take advantage of the great deals we have on Bookmap. If you're interested in Bookmap products, you can use my affiliate link in the Discord to get those discounts if you so choose. Other than that, I will see you all next Wednesday at 10:30 Eastern Time to kick off our Wednesday Bookmap streams again. If not, I'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow morning in the OM community. See you tomorrow. I'm out. See you.